Welcome to the following presentation of Minor League Esports on the MLE Network.
Welcome into the Sunday Showdown edition of Week 10 of the MLE regular season. I am Curtis, and we are getting things set up for the Academy League to take center stage in the first series of the day on MLE 2. It is the Express and the Knights, joined by my partner in crime and the second half of the original duo from MLE lore, I guess you could say, Nedham and Jay. Jay, this has the makings of a good one on paper, as both these teams are in the top three in the division.
As they should. A lot of the matches that get showtime down this part of the regular season are the matches that mean something when it comes to playoff qualification, and this one is no exception. Both of these teams currently sitting a little bit behind now after last night's results. The Jets having taken control of the top of the Forge division, currently 3 games ahead of the Express and 5 ahead of the Knights. So both of these teams trying to make up a little bit of ground now on a division rival by taking each other out and maybe dropping them back down into the clutches of the wild card. The Express currently sitting with games in hand at the top of the division. A 3-2 or better is enough to get them through into next week, still in control of the Forge division. And I think key for him is going to be Far, leading the team in a few of the categories, MVPR being one of them. 3.63 for threes is good enough for 3rd overall in Academy League, and also 4th in saves per game at 1.8. So getting it done, Curtis, on both ends of the field. For the Knights, conversely, it's going to be Sir Holdspace we're looking to see doing most of the work for that team, leading the team in goals, although less than a goal per game average. Knights don't look like they score very much, and I think against a defensive standout like Far, this might be a tough ask for them.
That should be fun. Yeah, the other two playing a decent support role, but it seems like, based on what you're saying, the Knights lean on their defense and take offense when they can get it. Sounds like a fun ride, as we are just about ready for a 5-game set. We're gonna get the signals out to the teams and get them going. It is the Knights and the Express to get things started off in this particular Showdown Sunday. We're getting into the last bit of games in this regular season as the playoffs looming large. He seems amassing the records necessary, and you really start to pick out the cream of the crop versus what turns out to be the pretenders in the wild card and the division races.
The one interesting thing for me about this one, the Knights come into this with a 9-2 series record, yet they sit 3rd in their division. They don't seem to win series by a big margin, and that's kind of what they need here to try and get themselves a shot at the Forge division title. A 5-0 is what they need to at least get themselves tied with the Jets and keep themselves out of the real clutches of that wildcard race.
Now, Poppy Mayer is going to be in a tough spot. Boosty as well. That's on the goal line in the Express end, but it's going to be knocked away. Good work defensively to at least not panic and get it aside. Poppy Mayer going to work it around the corner, right in front, going for the chance near side. Didn't quite work. Sir Holdspace there in time. Express trying to set something up on offense. This will be Boosty. Boosty pass in the middle, but ends up giving it to the Knights instead. This will be in the Express corner. Hinge play top of the box. Sir Holdspace comes in. Doesn't quite get the angle he needs to get on top of the ball. Off the back wall and away comes Poppy Mayer with it. We played about 45 seconds. Nothing much doing on offense for either side, although there have been opportunities.
We've seen a little bit more presence out of the Knights so far, as the Express are struggling just a little bit to get the ball out of their end. You can see why a lot of their players seem to have pretty high saves per game. They don't keep the ball well in the offensive end. They're really struggling to transition out from defense towards offense, and that might be a thing to look at here, because if the Knights can turn that into some meaningful offense, if they can start putting goals on the board, it might be a road into this series for them. But the Express, watch them to counter. If they can get past the Knights, if they get 1 or 2 good touches upfield and start to set up, maybe we'll start to see some really tough games showing up for the Knights.
Coming around their own corner with it are the Knights. That'll be a chance on a setup. Nice shot. Hawkeye with the shot, Far with the save. Another opportunity for a save for Farr. Has a pretty substantial number in that category. 3:18 to go in game number 1. This will be the Express. That's an individual effort to put it in front of the Knights goal. Taken in by Sir Holdspace. Up in the air. Knocked down by Hawkeye. Holdspace comes in. Puts it right in Hawkeye's wheelhouse, but not quite in front of him enough. As Farr will get the send back into the Knights' end. 3 minutes to go. Kind of a feeling out process, you would think, as these two teams calmly just getting the ball away from their net, keeping it away from frame, which is important in a defensive battle, but also in the first game of the series.
I think the biggest thing for me is that neither team is really able to put together anything for possession. They're feeling each other out. They're going back and forth up and down the field, and it just hasn't really been consistent either way. And that's the thing that I think these teams are going to struggle with, because the first team to find that consistency is going to dig into the psychology of their opposition just that little bit, because now you have to start answering that question, what do we do to beat this? And players at this level in Academy League, they don't have that kind of exposure in a lot of situations to finding ways to adjust their gameplay and find answers to those questions, especially when these games mean so much in the regular season.
2:05 to go. This is firmly planted in the Knights' end. Boostie's going to put it off the corner wall, but right to his counterparts for Holdspace. Off the corner again. That's going to be up in the air, just above the crossbar. Top of the box, chance for Hawkeye. He's going to go by the ball as well. Coming down to our last 110 seconds of gameplay. This will be up in the air. Chance for Holdspace. Holdspace, one of the keys to this series, as you alluded to, and isn't able to do anything right at the moment. Up is Mercury. Mercury looking for a second touch, trying to read it. He'll come down to earth. Oh, good takeaway. The dunk is going to end up being the first goal of the game for the Express. It's Boosty past midfield.
This is what we were worried about for the Knights fans here. If they didn't convert that presence into offense, the Express seemed to be comfortable playing on the counterattack. The good read by Boosty just keeps the car in line, in respect to the rule one as well. There was actually one in the corner as Farr was being kept out of the play by one of the Knights players. I think it was Hawkeye, and the 2v2 ends up going in the Express favor.
Oh, that's going to be left post. Chance in front. Knights find themselves down a goal. Things are going to be a little more urgent for that squad now. Chance for Hawkeye. Good removal. Tries to follow it up. Rotation out. Sir Holdspace knocked out of rotation there. He will think about coming back in, but will defer. Up is Mercury. Doesn't matter. Sir Holdspace gets the first save. Right down to the ground past Hawkeye. But a save coming out. Express still setting things up. 66 to go. Good pinch is going to send it hard back into the Express area. It'll bounce in frame, but right at Pappy Mayer. And get sent back in by Sir Holdspace. That's a chance. Express need to get it away from their frame, and they do. Back to the midfield line. Boosty, who has the lone goal in game 1. They're going to have a shot here. Pass in front and cast aside again with 34 ticks and an Express 1-0 lead.
Most of the offense has been generated by the Knights this game. 7 shots on goal, and 6 of them already saved away by the Express. We talked about their defensive numbers briefly on the build-up to game number 1 here, and it seems like that's the game plan. Let the Knights throw everything at the net, and the second that the offensive pressure lets go, it should be a chance back the other way for the Express.
And with 8 seconds left, Hawkeye is going to try to get something done. Right wing side. That's off the back. Chance for the double. Not going to go. Into the corner. Sir Holdspace needs one as it bounces off the corner wall. I believe it hit ground as well. But just in time for the clock to still hit 0. And the Express are able to survive, get it down to the ground, and take a 1-0 game 1 win.
It was pretty much a nothing game for either side. We saw the Knights throwing a ton of shots at the Express and they were equal to pretty much every one of them. For the Express, all it took was one chance. They got 4 shots on goal credited, but it never felt like they managed to set up in the Knights' end. They were dropping back. They were letting the Knights have the ball, letting the Knights make mistakes, and as soon as that happened, they get the 1 goal on the board, the only goal of game 1, Curtis, and it's good enough for a 1-0 lead and prevents the Knights, at least, from taking the top spot in the Forge division this week.
Biggest thing that I can take away from that game 1 is that the Express did what they could, like they needed to limit transition opportunities from the Knights. The Knights, we told you we're going to be an opportunistic team based on their defensive numbers and how much offense they put out. They needed to be good with the counterattack, and the Express always had 1 to 2 back. And especially when they got the lead, they were able to play a little more prevent because they were solid on their own back line.
Yeah, I think for me, the Knights are going to have to do something a little bit more creative. The Express, with 3 players on the field, they haven't really found themselves pulled very far out of rotation or run out of boost. And I think for the Knights, it's just going to be a matter of either getting a well-timed demo or a good midfield interception that pulls the Express out into a challenge they don't want to take.
Back at it for game number 2. Neo Tokyo, the site, and we're underway with game numero dos. This will be Hawkeye, first thing. Taken away by Far as he reads it. He'll have a chance. First thing on the net, far side and in. And the Express wastes no time, a 6 seconds straight in game 2.
The Knights on this play never really contest the space in that early part of their offensive or defensive territory. Far picks up the loose ball off the kickoff, immediately gets on it. Hold space goes underneath for the boost grab after taking the kick, and no one challenges the shot well.
This will be off the sidewall on the kick. Express with a chance immediately. Far puts it in the middle. He might have a second opportunity here. The dribble play towards the far side, and a save coming out at the last second. Mercury takes it up the sidewall. Gonna try to end up with it. Trying to land on top of it. Boosty takes it away. That is angled towards the Knights net. Chance for a double. High off the back. Chance for Far, but Hawkeye takes it away. And the Knights can regroup as they try to get the ball out of their own zone. 35 seconds into game 2. Good takeaway from the Express. Getting it deep back into the Knights' end. Double touch, triple touch off the back. Boosty's there. He's going to miss. Mercury's in a tough spot. He's to gain control, but is unable to do so. And the Express will keep it in. Defensive touch required and achieved by the Knights to get it back out of frame. Oh, problem. They score from midfield. Boosty gets it just over the head of the last defender. It's a 2-0 lead.
The scramble by the Knights to get the ball away from their net ends up with 2 players chasing that down. Mercury doesn't react to that one in time, as it ends up pinging off the front of Sir Holdspace on the 50, just goes looping all the way downfield and into the Knights net.
This will be off of the ceiling and eventually will come down. Chance towards the sidewall. Looking to try to land on top of this. Good hard touch, Sir Holdspace. Gonna put it right in frame. They score. Hawkeye gets the first goal of the series for the Knights, and they make it a 2-1 advantage now.
Good job by Hold Space to get that ball in. Far doesn't read that off the backboard. Myers coming out to try and challenge it, but it's a little bit late. Hawkeye beats them to the ball, gets that on net as all 3 of the Express players end up not able to make a play on that ball.
This will be high off the back once more. Knights getting a chance to possibly tie the game here. Boosty needs a good touch. He'll get one. Puts Mercury into the corner. That'll be popped into the mid. Hawkeye's there, gets the drop, but not able to put it past Far. And a chance for Boosty to get it towards the side to keep it with him. That's top of the box. Opportunity, good defensive stand. Get that one taken away. Lateral ball into the middle. Sir Holdspace gets a touch on this and will put it into the offensive corner. Boosty around his own defensive corner. Grabbing Boost and going for the ball here is going to be Mercury. He can't get it towards the front of the net. That one will fly towards the front of the net. Above the crossbar is Boosty. He'll make a touch. Defensively get it away. Express doing a really good job not putting the ball at the top of the box for the Knights to take advantage of. They do another example of that here as we eclipse the 3-minute mark.
The Express, again, just struggling to really generate meaningful offensive sequences in the Knights, and they're really, really content to drop somebody back late, force the Knights to bring the ball in, try to counterattack off of that pressure. You don't see the Express really looking for each other in passing. It's a lot of getting the clear upfield, getting a chance, and retreating 2 players back to wait for the inevitable Knights counterattack off that play. They've got the lead so far, but without those extra chances, Curtis, I worry a little bit for the Express offense right now, because the Knights seem to be finding each other just a little bit more. The one thing letting them down right now is just their consistency on the ball touches.
Good demo by the Express offensively to try to keep the defensive rotations at bay. This will be off the ceiling and eventually will come down for Boosty. Off the corner. He has a chance here. Near side. Missed an opportunity to put them back in front by 2. They're going to try to put it in frame again and taken away. The Knights will get it back to midfield and further. Off the nose defensively by Boosty as he gets it lateral towards the sidewall. And we try again with 1:51 to go. That'll be off the top. Crossbar and away. Off the intersection, coming straight down. Mercury takes possession, then takes a demo. Trying a back pass. Dangerous ball. Far with a good bump on the player, and then the ball consequently. That'll be off the post. Chance in front. Good bump, but a shot that goes just wide. Boosty can't put it home. Knights live to tell about it, at least for the moment. Minute 22 to go. 82nd mark in game number 2. A 2-1 Express lead is where we sit. Top of the box defensively again for Mercury. Into the offensive corner. Boosty's there. Looking for a second touch. Doesn't have it off the wheels. Towards the net. Good opportunity gone by as we hit the 62nd mark in this second game.
Look how far back the Express have dropped on these transition plays. They have 2 players essentially back at net, letting 1 player go 1v3 against the Knights, but that from Sir Holdspace off the 50 ties it up. Deuces Wild with 52 to go.
Great challenge here by Sir Holdspace. Realizes there's 1 split second where he's not going to have complete control of that ball in the dribble. Great takeaway, great timing, and it goes an Express route right back into the Express net. Knights tie it up at 2. Good start, or good job by the Knights, fighting and scratching and clawing their way to an even ball game. 43 left, that's above the crossbar. Boosty gets it. Up the sidewall. Corner and out. Chance, and Poppy Mayer going to defensively put that into his own corner. Needs a second touch, not going to happen. That's going to bounce in frame. Boosty, again, very good above the bar. He's been there a number of times in this game 2 alone to prevent that ball from bouncing in front.
And one thing that really needs to be on the minds of both teams right now is, as this game gets closer and closer to overtime, every single mistake for a player is going to be magnified here. So you expect these teams to start to tighten things up. At the same time, you expect them to loosen up just a little bit as hold space for Hawkeye. It'll actually cross the line. Somehow the team play comes together, Curtis, as hold space keeps this one alive. The front flip with no boost just knocks in the Hawkeye, and the Express can't find it. Knights, with an absolute larceny of a goal, steal away game 2.
Yeah, in the last minute, no less, say 2 goals in the final 60 seconds, 80 seconds, whatever it was, to take game 2 away from the Express. And I think it was that contact in 0 seconds, I think, with 2 Knights members right there, I think it was more confusing for Farr, who was the last man back.
You didn't know which player was going to take the shot, and ultimately, I think the bump that Holdspace got on Hawkeye led to that ball taking a slightly different trajectory, kind of wedged the Dominus underneath the Octane hitbox of Hawkeye, pulled them to the side a little bit, so it pulled the shot a little further right towards the far post than I think anyone really on the Express defense was hoping it would go. You see a similar trend, though, this game, Curtis. Another 8 shots for the Knights put up, another 6 saves for the Express, but this time, that counterattacking style not paying dividends for them.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Knights did find a way to make it happen. Regardless there, though, they kind of grabbed some offense out of nowhere. The Express were doing a good job earlier in the ballgame of keeping the ball out of high-scoring areas, top of the box and up towards the center dot, that straight scoring alley, the lane, as it would be related to in basketball, was not defended very well in the last 80 seconds or so, and I think that was the difference.
The Express, for all of their defensive fallback, they leave a lot of space in midfield, and I think that's their biggest risk. If the Knights can exploit that space and find those shooting angles from higher up and give themselves just a little bit more room to avoid taking an awkward 50, you'll see more of the same in Game 3.
Good challenge, right wing side in the Express end. Or in the Knights end, sorry. That's high off the back. Good takeaway. Dangerous ball. Double touch off the bow. That should have been a shot a little bit wide on the contact point. That'll be up and hit the intersection. Straight down. Shot. Far side. Posting in. Boosty has the first strike for the Express with 25 seconds gone.
Good pressure this time by the Express as they actually set up offense for the first 25 of this game. 2 Knights players in the corner, beat by far on the 50. Boosty with the next rotation in, catches the 3rd player on the goal line. It gets a great angle, back post upper 90. Not a lot the Knights could do.
Back towards the center dot. Leaving that one alone. This will be a chance. Near side bounce. Top of the box again. Opportunity. The Knights. Couple of touches to keep it in the offensive zone. That'll be back towards midfield, but Poppy Mayer's there. He'll lose the challenge. Get up and over the head of him. Direct towards the net. Taken in. Good demo defensively by the Express. That's a shot high off the post, or off the crossbar, and it will be knocked away. Maybe more unintentionally, as that will defensively go off the ceiling. and then down. Here comes Boosty in the offensive end as we played a full minute, almost 70 seconds now of action in Game 3 in a tied series 1-1.
Still more of the same from the Express. We've seen them get that early pressure, but now they've fallen all the way back again. You see both players really dropping back behind the halfway point, not really coming forward to try and keep this offense on until it's really there. And I think that extra step that they need to take up a little bit sooner, Curtis, is a big reason why the Knights were able to fight back in Game 2. And with as much time left on the clock here in Game 3, while we might see that same story play itself out.
The Express, I'm noticing, are going for very subtle physical plays. You saw it a little bit in Game 1 as well, not so much in Game 2. Not enough to get the demos, but just enough to knock off the rhythm on either offense or defense, whatever the situation calls for. Very good work by them to just subtly knock the Knights out of what they're trying to do with just a little bit of a nudge.
I think a lot of that, too, is the Knights are leaving themselves a little bit exposed to it by slowing themselves down and looking for these bigger clears. That's really kind of the hallmark of players, that when you're getting aggressive to players waiting on that ball, there's a lot of room for that disruption to work and pull them out of position. I think for the Knights, they might just need to speed things up just a little bit here. Not necessarily dump and chase, but just a little bit more presence as that works out, Curtis. Hawkeye gets the third shot in, and it's 1-1.
It takes 3 bounces off the back wall to get it done. 1, 2, and then... Actually, this was the third right here. That's fine. Hawkeye able to put that one past Boosty. Good team effort by the Knights, and the Express kind of scrambling in their own end. Equal a tie goal about halfway through.
It all comes to the transition out of the midfield. They finally snap that clear off just a little bit quicker, and the Express don't recover back quickly enough.
This will be a chance in the Express end for the Knights end for the Express. Farr going to try to give this a follow into the corner. He'll try to read it. Does get the read. Top of the box. Chance for Boosty coming in, but double commit. Going to send this one back out into the Express corner. The midfield is where it goes. Poppy Mary gets it taken from him. Sir holds space to Farr. Farr past midfield into the Express end again. This will be a chance for Hawkeye defensively to get it away. Past midfield. Poppy Mayer trying to keep the dribble. Gets it taken away from him. That's going to be Boosty. Up in the air off the hood. Hawkeye. No pressure coming just yet. I think Hawkeye was trying to set it up on a tee for one of his teammates there. Maybe not so much. Boosty, hard send off the corner. Hits the intersection. Goes top of the box. Farr is up. Going to try to get contact. And he will not. As that one's taken away by Sir Holdspace, who's defensively been the catalyst for the Knights so far in these last couple of games.
Been pretty critical for most of the play of the Knights. We've seen a couple of plays at the offensive end as well that Holdspace has been important to, not the least of which the 0-second goal that set up the game win in game number 2. Just the Knights overall right now, it feels like this game has kind of gone back to what we saw more of in game 1, Curtis. It's a little bit of feeling out as neither team is really willing to get full control, although that is a perfect flick by Mercury onto the spoiler and in.
That is perfect. Mercury has the control and the space to do what he wants with this, and Boosty is left to his mercy. Boosty can only guess what he's going to do. The common thought there would be to go near side to the ball to try to get in front of the trajectory, but a perfectly placed play by Mercury to flick it far side and behind the last defender. It's a 2-1 lead. This will be into the corner again, as the Express find themselves in now what is a familiar position in this third game, being down by 1. This will be into the corner. Poppy Mayer gets contact. It's not great contact. It's a little too far out in front of him. Turns into a Knight's opportunity. Needs a touch. Not going to happen. Far around that corner, right wing side. Here comes Sir Holdspace. Sir Holdspace with a touch. He's not going to get there just in time. And Hawkeye will have to take it into the corner again. Knights finding a new win with 15 seconds to go. Do the Express have a hero? This will be a chance off the top. Not going to work. They sold out. This should be a goal the other way. Sir Holdspace with the bounce. That's not going to go. But that one is going to be Mercury depositing it in there. And it's going to be a 3-1 lead now with 4 seconds to go.
Holdspace had all the net to work with there, ends up trying to do something a little bit too aggressive to the ball. Mercury plays cleanup through, but the Express leave themselves open on that one, Curtis. As you said someone might be a hero, 2 players said it's me at the same time, and that's such a disappointment there as they worked really hard to stay in this one. Knights take it 3-1. They take a 2-1 lead in the set, and it's an important game for playoff standings.
Yeah, and the Express, who are down 2-1 in this series now, have scored first in every single game as well. So the Knights have done a really good job not letting that first goal get to them and just kind of keeping with the game plan that they worked out.
And for those keeping track at home, the Knights now at 34 wins, the Express at 35 wins. Both of them still in wildcard spots, as most of the teams around them have already played their games for the weekend. So not a lot of danger of falling out of the playoffs for either team if this does end up being more of a one-sided affair in favor of the Knights. But that just lingering feeling that if you lose this match in a fashion that puts you down in that wild card race, Curtis, that might just stick in the psyche a little bit for those final 2 weeks.
Now, see where Game 4 leads us. The Express can still come back in this series. It's not out of reach just yet. We have a 2-1 series lead after Game 3, and still a lot of Rocket League yet to be played. We both know how fast this game can turn, especially if the Express, who have taken the full time between games 3 and 4 to kind of talk about things, regroup a little bit, see if they have something cooking here as we enter the 4th game at Utopia Coliseum. We're ready to go. Game 4 of this first series of Showdown Sunday on MLE Sports GG2, presented by APM Music. I'm Curtis, that's Inanimate J, and we are underway for the 4th of 5 in this set. That'll be Mercury right off rip. Barr takes it away from him. Express have an opportunity right side, or right away anyway. Sir Hold Space gets the lateral ball. Good take. This is going to be high or hard off the back. Not a chance for Sir Hold Space to get a touch back towards the net. And now the Express have an empty net to work with on the other side. The dribble play is true. It's far, getting the Express up by 1 with 19 seconds gone.
Good pressure here as Mercury just gets put a little bit off by Far, looking for that bump. Doesn't get it, but doesn't need to, because it's just enough to make Mercury's line to the ball to hold it into the Express end just a little bit below optimal. Gets a good catch, good pressure too by Hold Space to try and get the challenge. Just doesn't quite work out.
This will be a chance for Mercury. Mercury will live to tell about that. So he doesn't quite make contact with the ball. Hawkeye's going to take it on a dribble. Pass up top of the box, hits the ceiling, eventually comes down in front of Boosty. Boosty plays this one high off the side. Sir Hold Space loses this. This is going to be hard off the back. Bounces off the corner, taken it hard by Hawkeye, as he is going to have to wait 3 seconds to play again. Mercury back to midfield. The Express starting to loom. Far side. Try to put a little English on it. Didn't quite work out as we played about a minute in game number 4. Knights, their first opportunity is at hand. Right wing side. Chance. Off the corner. Still an opportunity for Hawkeye. Puts it up in the air. Still a ball that's in front of the Express net, but then gets sent away. As Hawkeye will have to work defensively along with Hold Space to get this one back into the Express end.
Ooh, misread of the bounce by Meyer, and that's going to be a goal for the Knights as her Hold Space. Big booming clear, just catches a weird part of that baseboard, and Poppy Meyer not able to read that one properly, Curtis. That's a tough one to take because the Express were doing so much to keep the Knights penned back in their end and undone by that quick 2-touch out of the Knights' end into their net.
Oh, that's 100% what we were talking about. The Knights need to be combative on the counterattacks, but the Mercury comes through and keeps the momentum with the Knights. It's a 2-1 lead.
Good pressure by Hawkeye off the kickoff. Cheated up a little bit, got into the corner before the Express could recover the ball. It's out in front for Mercury, who gets on the end of it. Far can't make the save. 2-1 game. Big swing as the Knights take the lead.
90 seconds into game number 4, and the Knights back up by 1 after coming back by down 1. Into the corner. Fight for it around that boost orb down there. It'll be a chance for Mercury. Mercury with the take. Works it past Boosty. Poppy Mayer gets it popped back into the middle, but an opportunity for the Express to get it into the Knights' end. Off the corner. That's in frame. Dangerous ball. It gets sent across. Good job coming across by Mercury to take that one away. Poppy Mayer looking for a play into the middle. Didn't quite get great contact on it. Good bump there. Knocks Sir Hold Space out of the way, and the Express are the beneficiaries. Trying to land on top of it is going to be Far, but it's not going to go. Back across mid. Poppy Mayer back to Boosty, but right at the Knights, and the Express doing what they can to try to keep it in the Knights' end. But again, it gets sent hard back into the train station.
You expect the Express chasing this game by a goal now. They'd be a little bit quicker to pressuring the Knights at midfield, and that's going to be their undoing, Curtis. They get the ball back to the Knights. Their hold space again launches it long. Boosty doesn't get the best read of that, puts it into the corner, back out in front, and it's Hawkeye that slips it in by the near post. 3-1 Knights scoreline with just under half of game number 4 to go.
Yeah, this is the earliest we've seen a lead of this size at any point in the series. Knights coming through very, very well and keeping their playoff hopes with a nice, big, bright flame. This will be in front of the Knights net, taken in defensively. Working to the offensive side, it's Hawkeye. Hawkeye, chance taken away by Mercury. Up in the air over the midfield line, chance for the Express, try to get back into this. They're not very aggressive on offense right now. Talking about the Express, that's something that's going to need to change as we get into the late going of Game 4.
Almost as if their boost numbers are what's letting them down. As Boosty had an opportunity to hold the ball in earlier, no boost, went all the way back, can't find it. Mercury, again from hold space, that long booming clear doing so much work to put the Express in so much discomfort, Curtis. 4-1 now the scoreline here in game number 4.
Maybe you can explain it to me. They're getting beat on the long touches, but they're staying so far back and not really pushing the ball on offense. What gives?
That was actually just a matter of timing. Boosty had gone back, but was in the process of resetting on that play. The first ball in by the last Express player that led to that clear just left too much work to do. Wasn't timed well enough that the Express were back far enough to defend effectively. They were essentially still in rotation, transitioning back to defense at that point.
Fair enough. Landing on top of the ball, the Express trying to get themselves back into it with 1:12 to go. Off the sidewall, intersection and down. Knights still with an opportunity that's put in front of Far. Far is going to get a long clear and try to play the Knights game on them. Right wing side, touched into the mid, but it's cast aside once more. 60 seconds to go, and the Express work it into their defensive end. Past 1, but not past 2. Mercury has the touch. That's going to worm around the corner. This is a chance. Oh, defensively played by Far, well away from the goal line. That's a good opportunity to do it. 40 seconds left in a 4-1 game, as the Knights might be able to secure themselves a series victory at the moment when they need it most. With 30 ticks left, Far working in the offensive end to try to not make that a thing. Into the Express end. That's a pass. Mercury couldn't quite get it into the lap of his teammate. This will be a chance in front, though, high off the back. And this does a lot for the Knights' confidence going into the last couple of weeks of the regular season. This will hit the ground, hit the center dot. The Knights are going to walk away with a series victory still with one more game to play. But nice work by them as they had to come back in all 3 efforts, all 3 victories to do so. But they did just that.
It feels like if the Express can hold the Knights till late in the game, that one goal that they seem to be getting is going to be enough to get them over the line. But they need this next win, Curtis. It has to be more than just this 1-0 affair, because the Knights have figured out how to score early, and it's to find that transitional moment between when the Express get that ball past midfield and before they can effectively set up any way to hold that ball into the Knights' end.
And Sir Holdspace with another MVP for his tally. He has been the stalwart, but you got to give Mercury his credit. Very good control in the offensive end and very patient play from him as well. Realizes what he can go for, what he can do, and doesn't try to do too much.
Yeah, in threes, it's very much about having that player able to clean up some of these chances. You won't get the same kind of space as you do in twos. So that second rotation in is crucial to cleaning up those chances when there's an opportunity. If you're too passive on that play, the defense is so well structured usually in threes that the ball gets cleared away much more effectively a lot of the time than you see in twos. Whereas you need that pressure in threes. You need that presence in front of the net, if only to disrupt and give an idea that there might still be a shot on.
As we start up game 4, I know you've been looking at it. How crucial is this game 5 getting a win for the Express towards playoff implications to earn this 2-3?
Right now, if they drop this game, they drop all the way down into a tie with the Ducks for 5th overall in the Blue Conference. Now, the Ducks actually lead their division, so most of the representatives in the playoffs at this point are probably coming from the Forge division, but the Express don't want to really fall down into that wildcard clutch because there is still a lot of opening for teams to get back into that, albeit not too many, as a lot of them sitting below that 30 win mark at this point.
This will be towards the sidewall in the Knights' end. Taking control as Sir holds base. Bouncing it in front of the Express net. Poppy Mirror will defer. Far is there. Chance for Hawkeye to take control. He's got a chance up that corner. Put into the front, but a nice takeaway. He's going to put it above the crossbar. Still very much in frame, but taken away by Far as he'll get it back around the corner and to midfield. Express playing good defense at least early on. See if they can continue that as they're going to hard play off the sidewalls with the Doctor ordered towards the net, but the Knights all over that. That might be a good counter. Towards the net, they score. Sir holds base from the parking garage. Makes it a 1-0 lead.
It's the first touch by the Express that continue to let them down. That moment when they could put the ball in, try to set up on offense, they lose it into a good clearance lane. Hold space all the way upfield, catches Far again on the timing, trying to grab boost, and maybe set up at midfield, goes all the way in to the upper 90 of the Express goal.
That is the first time this series that the Knights have scored first in any of the 4 previous games. This will be over the midfield line. Opportunity in front of the Express net. Far is up. He will play it well, try to follow it. It goes off the corner. Bounces in front. Dangerous ball. Boosty lives to tell about it. Poppy Mayer will take control. Knights still the real good forecheck into the corner. Crossways, wall to wall, side to side. Not able to quite get boost with Sir hold space there, and he will have it leak out to the top at the midfield line for Far. Off the corner wall. Second touch needed, defensively taken away. That's something the Express have not been able to do. They haven't been able to get, you called it earlier, that second touch. The first touch is leaving them very much high and dry as the ball is just getting too far out in front of them or right at a Knights player.
I talked briefly about the need to find that consistency early in this series, and the Knights have done that with aplomb. And that's really put the Express in a tough spot because you can see the adjustments that the Knights have made to their play. The Express haven't found the answer to that. They haven't found that second touch that's been able to prevent the Knights from clearing so quickly when they try to transition up to offense.
That's going to be an empty defensive field for the Express. Dangerous ball in front. Oh, it's taken away. Far gets the defensive touch to keep it at a 1-0 advantage for the Knights, and the Express will live to tell about it barely as things get down to the last couple minutes.
Should have been a goal, but I'll tell you why that chance came about for the Knights. It was a double commit by the Express up for a high aerial ball right at the top of the midfield line, but ends up being a double fake out as both players bail out of the aerial. No one commits to finishing it, and it gives a free line of possession right back in for the Knights.
That's going to be towards the corner wall. Opportunity for the Knights to get it clear, and they will do just that, at least for the moment. That's pinched back into the Knights' end, though. Express starting to get a little more comfortable in that offensive end, albeit in Game 5. Falling on top of the ball is going to be Sir Hold Space. It's going to be right in his wheelhouse, but he doesn't have the angle to go after it at that point, or so he thinks. Knights keeping it in for the moment. Defensive touch necessary, and it will happen. Dangerous ball. Hawkeye in a tough spot. That's high off the back. Chance in front. Oh, Poppy Mayer can't get to the ball as Hawkeye reads it perfectly to knock that one laterally towards the sidewall.
Good transition back out from the Knights, as well as Hold Space doing such a good job in these moments when the Express lose possession in their end to bring it up, to force it at least into the corner. And that might be the line in for the Express here as Boosty goes for all 3 players, gets at least a bump on everyone. It's a scramble in front of the net, but Hold Space respawning gets enough of that one to keep this one scoreless for the Express with just under 40 seconds to go. That's
up into the corner. This will be a chance on a pass in front, right wing side. It'll be at the Express having to chase it down to their own end. 30 seconds to go. This is Game 5 where we see the Express come through with a hero ball at the last seconds, at least to tie it up. Poppy Mayer works it in the offensive side. Boosty's there as well. Poppy Mayer goes towards the center, starts to lurk. He'll go towards the corner again here. Around that boost orb, he'll grab it and keep the boost away from the Knights. Boosty is defensively back. Dangerous area. Needs to get it up in the air. Does so. They got to move it the entire length at this point. They've got it in a good spot. Towards the net, a save. And that is going to secure a 4-1 for the Knights at the time they most desperately needed it at week 10 of the regular season.
Well, the Knights wanted a big series to get themselves right into the conversation for first overall in the Forge division, and to shore up the chances of making a wild card if they don't. They got it in spades. 4 wins puts them at 36-24 to get out of this week. 1 game back of the Jets, 1 game up on the Express, as those 3 teams now sit 2 games apart for a literal sprint to the finish for the Academy League Standard Forge division standings.
That is going to be a fun last couple weeks in the regular season, and as we take a look at the Blue Conference standings. That being said, we're looking square in the face at a very tight playoff race in a number of spots in the MLE as we get towards the last couple weeks. We have the Foundation League up next as well. That is the, if I'm not mistaken, where's my schedule at? The demo
and the Wizards.
Thank you. Demo Wizards. I knew it was the demo. Demo Wizards. That is the second series up tonight. We will have it for you just after a short break. This is MLE Sports GG2 presented by APM Music.